Hey, what's going on? Miguel Lloyd, host of Life Full Circle Radio. Yeah, it's been a few weeks, and it is what it is. So life is life, and over in these here parts. Lot going on during the course of these last few weeks. When is it not a lot going on in 2025 with this administration? So as of right now, and we're recording this on October the 1st, the government is shut down, and so they're expecting people to come to work for free. That includes TSA and a little bit of everything. And so government shut down. Pete Hegseth decides to bring all of his generals from around the world to bring them to DC to tell them that they're fat. And that it's not going to be, and that women are no longer really welcomed in the armed services, and black people can't have beards, and we're tough guys. Trump is putting tariffs on movies. What's your name, girl? Kia dropped this on me before the show. I'm like, tariffs on movies. And this is why this kind of makes sense, because here in Georgia, west of here in Fayette County, where they were making a lot of Marvel movies, they're now going over to England. And so because, it's cheaper to do it over there, and they're getting better tax breaks overseas. And so that's probably part of that. My understanding, every time I see the beef between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, I can't follow because they write paragraphs and on social media. They write paragraphs in Ebonics, and I can't follow. And so Kia's going to help me catch up to that. And my understanding is that Nicki Minaj has a cocaine problem. Didn't know that. Kim K versus Ray J, which we know is funny. It's funny. A funny story about that. We'll talk about that because John Murray, who was someone I went to college with, Norfolk State University, he posted something today, and I may see if I can find it if I get Safari to work, where he was one of the first people who broke. He says he was the first person to break the story with Kim K, Ray J, and the video when he was writing for AOL Black Voices back a long time ago. And so that all came up because as of today, AOL is no more. And boom. Follow us on the social medias, on the YouTubes, I'm spending a lot more time on Threads right now. I like Threads because I'm not going back to Twitter. And then now forget about that now we've got billionaires that are going to be owning TikTok. And so then there's that. Super producer.
What's up? Happy Wednesday. So much going on. It's mostly silly stuff. Yeah.
We're going to try to keep it as silly as possible. As silly as this world is. Safari is acting a fool on me over here. And so it's not working.
Yes. And somebody in my household is still streaming that baseball game, and they should stop.
Good luck with that. And so we're in that world. It won't even let me quit Safari right now. What are you doing? Get out of here, Safari. Get out of here. Anyway. All right, so super producer, let's get into this thing. A lot going on, and so I'm gonna need you to share your screen so I can try to pull your screen up, because it's not letting me do what I need to be doing over here. Let me see if I pull up the dreaded Google Chrome, if I can work off Google Chrome today. And
I love Chrome. Well, if you can, I'm ready to go. If you can't, I am ready, because we are starting off with the most obnoxious thing I've ever seen, and that is Pete Hegseth addressing generals across the United States, across all the armed forces. And it honestly, as the Atlantic is saying, it's hundreds of generals trying to keep a straight face. Pete Hegseth gathered commanders from around the globe to unveil new physical fitness standards, and that's not the only thing he discussed. He also discussed how rape allegations were going to be taken seriously in a different way. He was talking about physical fitness. He's talking about, dressing properly. It was all just very aggrandizing garbage that no one could put together. It was the definition of gobbledygook. It really was.
I just, it's wild to me because I said, I can't believe that people still talk like this. Like, it is 2025, and this guy is really macho manning up in here. And I'm looking at this thing and saying, I can only imagine. I'm a general who's been in the armed services 30, 40 years. I've helped to do so much, to keep this country safe and to do all this amazing work. And this guy, who, when I looked at his record, him in and out of the armed services, him, he was in and out of the National Guard a few times. And so I can just imagine you sitting up here as a 3 and 4 star general, and you looking up here on the stage, you saying, I can't believe I got to listen to this clown.
And no, and you're right. I think that's the hold on. That's a core part of it. That people they have to listen to him because
They don't
now he's
have a
the
choice.
Secretary of Defense. Excuse me, not the Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of War. So the really interesting part is that in the days before Pete Hegseth stepped on stage to address the hundreds of generals and admirals he summoned for a mysterious meeting outside of Washington, D.C., officials at the Pentagon joked that the defense secretary could have saved a lot of time and money by making his remarks via email instead. As it turns out, what Pete Hegseth delivered at Marine Corps base Quantico could very well be a copy of his 2024 book, The War on Warriors. And that's what he was talking about. He kept mentioning that there's been a war on warriors and nobody respects the military, which I'm sorry couldn't be further from the truth. I'm not sure if he's getting the military mixed up with ICE. Maybe he's getting, the army, the military mixed up with, local police departments, but there's never been no respect for veterans and for warriors. You know, he just said so much stuff that was nonsensical. It was very much the MAGA agenda. All of the pathology diagnosed in his books, the, diversity initiatives need to go away. Facial hair need to go away. Accommodations for women, systems to hold toxic commanders accountable need to be going away. Meaning, if your commanding officer while you're in boot camp decided to punch you in the gut to get you to, stand up straight, that should all be fine now.
Right.
Which,
Right.
let me
All
just say,
women have to meet male standards to stay in the military, and so those are all things that what
you're gonna be mad in a second.
now, mind you, think about who you're talking to now and who my people are.
I know your people are, and remember who my people are too. My mother was in the military, dad in the military, brother in the military. I do think to an extent that some of what he said makes sense, meaning that, commanding officers being hard on troops shouldn't be frowned down upon and shouldn't be considered toxic. I respect that. But the same standards for women and men as far as push-ups and stuff and all that, I heard someone say the other day, like, hey, when you're in combat with an opponent or with your enemy, have they ever asked you to get into a push-up contest before? Have they ever asked you to get into a pull-up contest before? Like, why does that type of stuff matter?
Right. It's ridiculous. And so when I look at that thing, I say, we are not in a armed hand-to-hand combat world right now like we, were some 40, 50 years ago, right? And so you look at that thing, you say, sure, there's going to be some times where you're going to have hand. And here's the thing, like some of the trades buddies from West Point, some of these women, when they were in their prime, they was out there kicking in doors as military police. They wasn't chumps, right? But for you to make a big deal out of that, as he did, and puff out your chest like you've done something, it's wild to me. But then I look at this thing and I say, I look at the when they were trying to make those guys applaud, like these are generals. You know what I mean? You want them to applaud you like this is a rally. This ain't a rally.
Concert.
This ain't a rally. This ain't a rock concert. This is not a MAGA event. You've got 800 of the most important warriors in the world, and you had them fly. Word has it that they didn't fly on some military. They had to fly. Some of them had to fly commercial.
And they also didn't know what they were doing there. They said they were summoned, meaning, and then again, out of respect, a lot of these generals were just like, okay, I'm being summoned by the White House. I'm being summoned by the Secretary of War. So I'm going to go and do my duty. But like you said, these people aren't people who need to worry about doing push-ups and pull-ups and being thin. They've done their duty for 20 plus years. Like
20, a lot of them 30 and 40. And then I look at like someone like myself, I'm black man. So I have, I'm a black man. So, razor bumps are real. And they are some of the most painful, irritating things. And I don't have it, extremely bad. I had my beard, I had to shave my beard today because it was driving me that crazy, right? But if I don't, for his interesting thing, up until maybe 3 years ago, the last time I had a straight razor on my face was probably 25 years prior to that, because I tried to shave it one time and didn't know what I was doing. And my face broke out so bad that I said, I'll never have a straight razor on my face ever again. which gives me that close shave.
A blade to your face, not knowing what you're doing that's dangerous.
Yeah, no, I learned, and what happened was, I have an outstanding barber. Shout out to my man Phil, where he did the hot towel and he did the right, and he as a grown man, I learned how to shave my face right when I was in my almost 50 years old, and that was just a decision. And the point I make, the reason why I bring that up is, as black men, this is not just something we do. We don't just grow beards and keep a little extra hair in our face because we think it's all cool. It is a process, and it can be a painful process if it's not done right. These razor bumps are nothing to play with. And so for him to sit up here and say, yeah, we're not playing that old medical waiver because you got razor bumps. Shave your face. Like, okay.
What about black women hair? Black women in the military to fight for how to be able to wear their hair because our hair is different from the white girl's hair.
Correct.
Like it just is. Like every black woman is not going to do this.
Right.
They're not. And what my cousin, because my cousin was in the Air Force, she just retired from the Air Force. Yep. She wore box braids. She wore box braids, I want to say, the entire time she was in the military, just so that she could pull it back, put it in the bun at the bottom, and put her cap on.
Yep.
And black women had to fight to be allowed to wear those braids.
Yep.
To be able to get through all the rigorous work they have to get through in the military.
My father is here visiting from Phoenix, and he's a man of a certain age, right? He's in his mid 70s, and from the South. And we're watching the news, and I'm looking at this thing, I'm shaking my head. I said, I can't believe we're here. He said, how do you think I feel? He said, I marched so that y'all didn't have to deal with this 60 years ago. And here we are in 2025, and you've got someone who's heading up, who's at the top of the food chain, who's disrespecting all of these military generals by bringing them in and run, doing what he's doing. And so this is the continued chaos and all this while going on. And here's the thing you have to give, to be the author of chaos as they are, you got to give them the credit, man, to the point that they keep jabbing us with the left. They keep jabbing us and jabbing us and jabbing us, because every time we think we're gaining our bearings, here's another jab. Okay, government shutdown. Okay, here's another tariff. Okay, now we're going to tear furniture. Okay, now we're going to tear cabinets. Oh, now I'm going to go to the UN and embarrass the entire United States. Right? Now I'm going to, it's like stuff happens so fast and furious that you forget stuff that just happened last week. And by the way, you have a school shooting the same day as Charlie Kirk is hit with his killing. School shooting the same day, nobody hears about it. Then you have another situation. What was it, Sunday? Where the guy ran his truck into a Mormon church and set it on fire. He not only ran in.
There were two.
What was the other one? I missed that.
Who pulled up to the boat dock and shot those people at the boat dock who were just drinking at the boat dock bar. Then there was the other guy who pulled up to the Mormon church and drove into it and opened fire. Both veterans.
I don't even know anything about the boat dock one. I missed that totally. So we're at a point now where this stuff is so common. It's become so common, and we're getting so desensitized. These jabs are just continuing to come and to come and to come. And we sit back and we say, my, what and we got another 3.5 years of this at minimum, because as you said, as we know, he's going to try everything in the book. He's going to try everything in the book to try to remain in power beyond the time that he should be in that seat. And while they get the next guy like JD Vance ready to try to take over that seat, and I'm just, you really got to get to the point that stop expecting MAGA supporters to change. They're who they are. Would you like
to laugh for a second?
Sure, let's try. Let's see if we can
go ahead and share my screen.
Oh, Jesus.
Ladies and gentlemen, I live in Lake County, Florida. Lake County, Florida apparently is going to be the first city that's going to have a road dedicated to Charlie Kirk. Would you like to read this bottom row that says this? 2025 Lake Board of County Commissioners. That's wrong.
Why? What's wrong about it?
It should say the 2025 Lake County Board of Commissioners. There is no Lake Board of County. That's not a thing.
Board of County, that is.
All this money to make this sign.
County Commission. So is it
It's not
Lake
his job.
County Board of Commissioners? Is it supposed to
It
be?
should be. Yes.
Is that AI?
No. Because I'm from here. This is Anthony Sabatini, who has run for Congress. He's run for Senate. He's run for everything. All now he's a city board commissioner. No one cares. He was very excited to announce this, and it has a giant typo in it.
But here's the thing: you make it like this is the part I want us to understand. Go back, pull that back down, pull it back down, pull it back down. We want to see this.
One job, Anthony.
While you guys are ignoring, and I'm not saying you, I mean in general, people don't know who their county commissioners are. People don't know who are the people who are making decisions, who can go to a meeting less than 3 weeks after this gentleman was killed and make a change that quickly in your county. Now, you can sit up here and fight, scratch, and claw to get so many signs and so many legislations and get your roads paved and all this type of stuff. And these people went before the board. That man was killed on, what was it, the 10th? The 10th of September. Today is October the 1st, and they've already made a sign for him in the state of Florida.
What I'm trying to figure out is what road this is. It's in my count. Oh, you know, it just keeps getting more funny to me. So the road that it is actually not really like a road. It's like some little weird access road to get to the main highway. It's not like an actual highway or anything. It's like a little weird road in my city. And I honestly think that road is actually not even going to be permanent because it's right now it's a construction road. Okay. But either way, look, Charlie, honestly, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Charlie Kirk is rolling over in his grave. Between this and the fearless debates that went to Tennessee State University, we got to talk about that. I forgot all about that. Between that and this is, he has to be up in heaven pissed off.
Why?
He did all this work to make his brand. Maybe not a good person, maybe not whatever, but Charlie Kirk cared a lot about his brand. He went out of his way to talk to universities and different student organizations to get on these campuses. He did everything. He may have been a jackbutt, but he did everything the right way. For now, it just being sloppy.
What did he do everything the right way? You lost me there.
Meaning he went to universities and asked to come. He was invited on campuses. Okay. He spell checked his stuff. He actually put effort into his brand. He cared about his brand. He may have been full of garbage. He's awful. He's mean. He's disrespectful. Fine. Yeah. But he cared about his brand. Now we got people screaming in Starbucks about people not saying his name. Did you see that video?
Yes, I saw the woman was screaming about making people say Charlie Kirk in Starbucks, and she, the level of
don't do that at the Waffle House and watch what happens. Do it at the Waffle House.
The level of it, yeah, right. The level of entitlement that these people have. It's so funny when that came up because I said to myself, I get Starbucks, 2-3 times a week. If I walk into a Starbucks, I don't give a damn about them calling out my name. I look on the counter, I see the one that's got my name. If I decide to get out of my car, because normally I'll just drive up to the drive-thru because I'm going to a meeting or something. Hey, pickup order for Miguel. All right, drive around. We got you. I'm not going to sit up here and say, pick up order for Charlie Kirk. And I drive up and I look at him. Or you know what? Maybe we should do this. Maybe we should go and everybody go out here and order coffee and say, pick up order for Asada Shakur.
I was going to say the same thing. Asada Shakur, Malcolm X, Martha King, Medgar Evers. Let's just do them all.
Let's just do them. But no, we're going to leave people the hell alone and let them just make our coffee and keep it moving. But no, this woman's going to sit up here and demand, say his name. Say his name. Like, no, here, ma'am, here's your coffee. And the whole thing.
I felt so bad for that barista because I was like a child. You could tell the girl was nervous and scared because now she's standing like this. She doesn't know what to do. Her manager finally come out and listen. Why are there no black managers that work at Starbucks? I would have came out and been like,
"Who knows where that place is? Who knows where that place is? It could be no black people there. I'm not even tripping about that." But the other girl that was sitting there, was the other white girl sitting there, like basically like, "You're making a scene. No, you're making a scene. I'm sitting here drinking my coffee. You're making this girl walk over here 3 feet to hand you this coffee, and you're demanding that she say Charlie Kirk's name. You're making a scene." Get on
And
with your
honestly,
life.
guys, Charlie Kirk has gone to glory. So I think for a lot of the Starbucks people, like, that's not your name, and he's dead, and this is weird. And just come get your
Just
stupid
come get your caramel
latte cold
macchiatos
brew
and have a great day.
and go home.
And can I get you a sleeve with that? Can I get you a sleeve? Is it hot? So, so there's that. So much has happened. You know, I just, a Sada Shakur story coming up, and for people, Sada Shakur, as Cash Patel says, he was a terrorist. Okay, all right, we're not gonna.
He's so dumb. He's so okay. Now I got to rant again. We kept saying that DEI is bad. What is Cash Patel?
An Indian man born in Uganda, I believe. I believe he was born in Uganda.
His parents were born in Uganda.
I thought they said he was born in Uganda as well, but go ahead. I think so. But the point, but continue your rant.
Also, Cash is not his whole name, by the way. Like, right. I think we all know that his whole name is not Cash. I think it's it's Cash Rap. His name is Cash Rap.
Cash Rap. Cash Rap sounds like somewhere you pay too high interest rate to go borrow money. Like it's a dirty.
Oh no, not Cash Rap. Cash Yap. Cash Yap.
Cash Yap. Okay.
Cash Yap from Maud Patel, and he was born in Garden City, New York. His parents were born in Uganda. That's what I remember. His parents were born in Uganda.
Okay.
But he's DEI. He's the brown guy who shouldn't have the job because he doesn't have the experience. When that shooting happened of Charlie Kirk, he came out and said, "We got him, guys," and they were like, "No, we don't. We don't have him. We don't have him." He gets in front of Congress to testify in front of Congress. That's a whole crap show. Now he's talking about
Andre Sias. I can't stand you, man.
Who?
Can't stand you.
Yes, it honestly is spelled KashYap. So technically, it's Cash App.
I will not disrespect our Indian brothers and sisters with that. I will not.
Again,
but that's funny though, Andre. Andre, and Andre, besides, thank you for your service, sir. One of our many veteran followers and friends. I'm pretty sure I can imagine you sitting in a uniform listening to Are you still, Andre? And here's the thing: are you, blink twice if this is an issue, but are you still in the reserves?
It's so funny.
He's gonna delete the app. But Andre served many years, I want to say, United States Army, I believe. And so we appreciate his service and all who have served. It's so much going on, man. It's so much going on. That's like, I got to go back to my, I got to go back to my opening topics just to make sure I remember everything that we're supposed to be talking about today. My God, so let's, did we talk enough about, I guess we talked enough about Pete Hegseth's WAC meeting. It was just ridiculous, man. I just cannot imagine the level of disrespect these people feel for him to fly them all from all around the world to come in here and chastise them and tell them how fat they are and how
he used FAFO in front of generals. F around and find out. He used it in front of generals. Yeah. He was waiting for the applause. It's
right.
Again, cringy.
Right.
This, like they said, this could have been in an email.
Right.
Or you could have addressed them respectfully. It could have been like an announcement, so they didn't have to clap or anything. But it was just like he was waiting for all these generals, all these decorated men and some women to be like, "Wow, you're doing a great job. We love you." In reality, you're just like, "Boo, tomato, tomato, tomato."
It's like it's you know what it was? It wasn't even a boo. It was, dude, do you know who you're looking at? You're looking at the brain trust of the United States military. You're looking at 1,000 years of service up here. And you sit up here on the stage with your too tight suit and your white nationalist tattoos underneath your suit. Like, come on, man. Like, stop disrespecting these people, man. And but these guys, the Pete Hegseths, the Cash Patels, and the McMahons and all of them.
Miller's, who is a ghoul. Stephen Miller, ghoul, ultra ghoul.
We are the supervillains right now. Are you know how in the movies, in the Marvel movies, like those 5 years go by scene to scene, like 5 years later, like we're in the midst of that right now. Like, oh, okay, but we're gonna live every last one of these 3.5 years until we figure out what's going on. So is Governor Newsom, is he the superhero that's gonna come and
Apparently, because he's not letting up. He's not letting up. He's continuing social media memes. He's continuing to show up and speak out and have a lot more spine than a lot of the Democrats. And I saw that conference of Democrats. Let's talk about the government shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just jump to that real quick because you're talking about Gavin Newsom, and I was gonna say that Gavin Newsom has a lot more spine and spirit than the Democrats right now. They got their butts on that stage yesterday when the government shut down, and was like, "Well, the Republicans won't do what we want, so we're gonna shut the government down," and blah 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 blah. You guys have been pussyfooting around this administration since January,
I don't know.
and
I don't really know what other choice they have, but keep going.
it's better than what they've been doing. I feel like I feel like they've been doing nothing. There have not been like a concerted effort, and I hate to say this about government officials on social media of getting out in front of your constituents. Hasn't been a whole lot of that.
Think about the ones, and it's interesting that we talk about this. And I don't know if it's that they're not,
galvanizing the base, something.
Well, here's the thing. Let's look at the ones that have been the most resilient in their defiance over the years, right? I think we've heard Bernie Sanders long enough. So Bernie Sanders is kind of like white noise now. Like we know his ideas are good. We know that, but he's just as old as Trump. And my wife said the other day, Bernie Sanders looks like he's losing some weight. I'm thinking to myself, no, he's just losing hair. His head looks smaller because he's got less hair. So then you got AOC. Doesn't seem like she's very loud in this day and age. I don't know what's going on with AOC, where AOC has been. So the main target they've been really focusing on is Jasmine Crockett. Now, Jasmine Crockett is about to lose her seat. You about to lose your job. She about to lose her job, not because she wasn't good at her job, not because her constituency doesn't want her to have that job. It's because they redistricted and gerrymandered her out of a job. And so then, you got Jasmine Crockett. You've got Stacey Abrams here in Georgia. And you look at that situation. You've got Jeff Duncan, who was a lieutenant governor as a Republican, who now just says that this is the ultimate white privilege, right? You are the lieutenant governor as a Republican because you are anti-Trump, because you are a never-Trumper. You decide to change your party affiliation. You're now a Democrat, and guess what he's going to do right out the gate? Run for governor. And so we're sitting back, and folks are saying, hold on, man. You were just a Republican you were a Republican elected official one term ago. And now you're going to go from independent to a Democrat and immediately say, I'm running for governor. What the Democrats are supposed to say, forget about the fact that you voted with Trump. You voted for Trump twice. And all of a sudden you're going to vote him in? Like, and think about Georgia is a state that has not had a Republican governor in forever. Yeah, I want to say it's 40 or 50 years. No, forgive me. I'm sorry. Let me correct that. The city of Atlanta has not had a Republican mayor in 50 years. But Governor Kemp, who's the governor now.
You're still talking about the governor because they have not had a Democratic governor in.
No, we got a Republican governor right now. But we've had Democratic. We've had quite a few Democratic. Now, what Democrat mean in Georgia is something different. But so here's the thing. The point is Jeff Duncan is interesting. But now, I've always remembered, as kids, we get graded on the curve, right? If the whole class, if the highest grade in the test is 80 and then you grade on the curve, that person has an A. Okay. So now it's like these never Trumpers and these people who've gotten burned by Trump, all of a sudden they want to sit up here and say, well, hey, Democrats, vote for me. I'm a centrist. Like, hell, you are. You ain't no centrist. You ain't never been no centrist.
You got tied by the orange tyrant, which we keep trying to tell these people. I think we all, as Black people, we try to tell Omarosa, he does not care about you. He's going to kick you to the curb. And what happened with Omarosa? What happened with Diamond and Silk? What happens to anybody?
R.I.P. Diamond or Silk. I don't know which one I'm going. R.I.P. one of them. I don't know which one it is.
Whatever. Both of them. He tosses people aside so quick, and their response to is, "Oh, everybody was right." I guess I need to go find a new home. No, you can't play with us.
My understanding is that Candace Owens may need Candace Owens may need protection here soon, because I think she supposedly came out and basically was talking about what's the name, Charlie Kirk and the conspiracy theories and all that. What you in the Republican world? What's Candace Owens talking about right now?
Candace Owens is basically saying that the person that they're saying killed Charlie Kirk didn't actually do it, and that they're putting him up because it's just the easiest thing to do, that there's some conspiracy theory. She's still in her lawsuit with the Macrons over there in France. She's
in a lawsuit with the Macron, with Macron over in France.
The president of France?
I ain't paying no attention to that. What's going on with that?
Because he called his wife a man, so they're suing her for defamation.
Ew, Jesus Christ.
And they're going to win. I'm glad you got a sound effect for that. They're going to win. And it's going to cost her millions upon millions upon millions of dollars, because she's doing this. And now she's got this conspiracy theory.
I think I did hear that. Because she wasn't saying it as a joke. She was flat out saying that his wife was a man.
Like, she was saying you have a penis. So there's just so much going on. Where do you want to go next?
Hold on. We're going to go here. What's up, Kev? My man Kevin X Jones. He asked me, don't forget about Westmore. What? Westmore is very viable. I am concerned. I don't think this country is right now ready to deal with another black man in that role. Would I vote for him? We're talking president. We're talking about Gavin Newsom, and then we talked about Westmore. Now Westmore running at. Now here's the thing about Westmore. Westmore is a veteran. He is one of the more successful governors right now. He's right there in Maryland, so the people in the area know him very well. You don't know it. What do you know about Westmore?
No.
Nothing.
Unless he has unicorns flying out of his butt, and he can change people's minds about him being black. Listen.
No, I don't debate that. Go ahead, finish your thought.
Let me explain. We have to stop swinging the pendulum. Pendulum? How you say that, right?
Pendulum.
Yeah. We have to stop swinging it so far from one side to the other. We keep doing this.
But see, that's the problem. And here's the thing. I don't disagree with you to a degree.
Okay.
But the fact that simply because of the color of his skin, that feels like a pendulum swing is the problem with this country.
True.
Right? Because Westmore is highly
people are going to racist. That's the problem.
And that's fine. So here's the thing. I'm not trying to change the mind of racist. Racist people, as you say, will be racist. Racist people should not be dominating the politics of this country. And that's where the country has to sit up and say, enough of this. Because here's the thing, what's happening now. And we saw this so much has happened over these last few weeks we weren't on the air. The Jimmy Kimmel situation showed what the real difference maker is, and it's money, right? If we can talk with our dollars, if we look at what happened with Target, when we look at what happened with Disney Plus, where in 6 days, Disney and America told Donald Trump to shut up because Jimmy Kimmel was back on the air in 6 days. Because you know why? Disney Plus was getting cancellation emails all day. And they were like, oh, this ain't going to work.
And listen, and people don't know this because I live in Florida. Disney's already struggling here because I live in Orlando, Florida.
Yep.
People are not going to Disney like they used to. One, not only can people not afford it, so Disney was really relying heavily on international tourism. Mm-hmm. International tourism is down so much in Orlando.
That's right.
And Las Vegas. People are not coming here. They don't feel safe coming here.
And then Americans are broke.
And again, I am having to save up now to take my kids to Disney in April of 2026.
Yeah. That's where we are. And so
that's where we are.
And so when it's all said and done, when you look at everything that is going on right now, you say, okay, MAGA, okay, white Christian nationalists, okay, all of a sudden when your tithing starts to go down because people don't have enough money, because as you said, they're putting tariffs on everything from corn to movies,
to pharmaceuticals.
To pharmaceuticals, you can sit up and say like everybody is going to be hurting. And so another story, and guys, I want y'all to follow the transcript. Follow us and all that, because you're gonna have to catch up. You're gonna have to read the transcript. Are you following what's going on in Memphis? So here's what's going on in Memphis.
There's so much stuff going on.
Here's what's going on in Memphis, and now you can follow the tea leaves. So Elon Musk is building a huge data center in Memphis. Well, he's already built it. And the way he's built it, he's powering this data center with gas turbines. And so you have people that are walking outside of their homes and they're saying, it smells like when I first turned on the knob on my gas stove. Some 30-something turbines. Now, mind you, if you go back to Doge and you say, what was one of the first departments that he made sure that he fired everybody and made sure it was defunded? The Environmental Protection Agency.
Yeah, Environmental Protection
EPA. And so while he's doing this, there's nobody out there in Tennessee, because the governor of Tennessee is lock, stock, and barrel. He didn't got his check. The city government in Memphis have already gotten their check. And so now he's building a second plant. And do you think he's building those plants anywhere near white folk? Hell no. You think he's building those plants anywhere near poor white folk? He's building that thing by black people and poor people, where you get the cheapest land and build the biggest data centers that he can. And the data center problem is not just happening in Tennessee. It's happening in Georgia. It's happening in a lot of places that got a lot of land, because all of this stuff that we're loving around AI and all this stuff takes a lot of power to power all this stuff up. And so by the time they look up and you realize what is going on, you don't just tear down a big old huge data center that has been built. It's going to be sitting there in the middle of somebody's community, and it's going to find a purpose in that community. They're going to find ways to make some money off of it, because you know what they're doing? They're getting all types of tax subsidies. They're getting all the type of money from the county and the state to build it. So then the county and the state is already invested, so they can't go back on the investment.
So let's just go back for a second. If I had to pick my dream ticket as a Republican, well, no, I can't even say as a Republican because Gavin Newsom is not. But if the Democrats want to recover, the dream ticket would be Gavin Newsom as president, Wes Moore as vice president, and Pete Buttigieg somewhere in there doing something.
Pete Buttigieg, and my mother, one of my bonus mom, she loves Pete Buttigieg. And she asked me that question the other day. And I said to her, this country is not ready to elect a gay man to sit in that White House. It's not going to happen.
He can't be president and he can't be vice president. But I'm thinking
he's already done it. What was he? He was secretary of what?
Secretary of Transportation. Boo.
That is a big job. Secretary of Transportation is a big job.
But I feel like he needs to be something that's a little bit more people facing.
That's a cabinet position. But go ahead, finish your thought.
Do you get what I'm saying? Though it needs to be more.
Well, here's what I'm saying. The reason why I'm pushing back is that there really is, outside of president and VP, a cabinet position is people facing. The problem is that he was working under an administration that was milquetoast. Like it was Biden. Nobody was really front facing. Like you actually had a public, you had a person who handled the PR every day. We've got Donald Trump who's turned the Oval Office into some god awful place with a whole bunch of gold all over the wall, and then he's got this other young 25-year-old girl who does the press, and all she does is just troll people every time she's at the podium. So Pete Hegseth, maybe he needs to run for governor. You know, he's from what state? Indiana or Illinois? Which state is he from?
Pete Buttigieg is from... Sorry, I have his whole thing pulled up right now. Indiana. He is from South Bend, Indiana.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work. He ain't gonna win as governor of Indiana. That ain't gonna work.
I love it. You're like, nah, it's not gonna go.
That ain't gonna work.
But yeah, I feel like the Democrats really, we can't swing the pendulum too far, but we also have to get somebody out there who's really going to talk and have a voice and be loud and, you know.
Well, here's where I agree. Pete Buttigieg is too valuable.
You have to have somebody who's going to be down with rebuilding and not ostracizing MAGA, because you can't do that. You can't rebuild and just tell them, hey, like what Trump is doing to Democrats. You can't have.
I don't give a shit about MAGA. I care about the middle of the. I care about these people in the middle, swaying them. The folks that are in MAGA are going to be MAGA until Trump is gone.
Go to glory.
Until he goes to glory, they're going to be who they are. It's the people who are voting with MAGA because they're seeing personal benefit. And so, man, Trump and these folks have made. And here's a dangerous part. When you run a Pete Hegseth up against a J.D. Vance, I mean, not Hegseth. I mean, when you run Gavin Newsom up against J.D. Vance, you still got some work to do because there's people who just vote based on the popularity contest. And if you put this 40-something-year-old J.D. Vance up, a beautiful Christian man, up next to Gavin Newsom, this man from California, it's going to be a lot of middle-of-the-road people that are still going to vote for J.D. Vance. And so then you put, and I agree, Wes Moore probably will, but then you have a problem that you're going to give up 2 governor seats if you have both of them run together. That might be okay. Possibly, because, no Republican's going to, you did have Ronald Reagan and you had Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I don't think any Republican right now could win California because at that point, maybe Kamala Harris runs for governor of California and she secures that space. And then
Side note, are you going to get her book? I'm getting her book. I'm going to get that book. I'm getting the book. I think it's called 108 Days. It's called 108 Days,
100
right?
something days, however many days that they threw her under the bus. Yeah, it's that. But it's we got a long way to figure this thing out. But the AOCs of the world, it's just it's so unfair, but it's just what it is. You can't be outside the lines for whatever reason on the left, and they claim that the left is so radical. The left is so centrist. The left is so centrist, man. And then on the other side, you've got you've got they're just running amok. They're redrawing the lines every day, all day, and it's crazy. Yeah. So anyway, all right. What else we got? Let's see what else we're going to talk about today.
It's 8:57. So what do we have next? What are we doing next? Are we doing?
All right. So let's go ahead and I'm assuming your girls are going to be in the.
Okay, cool. So Nicki Minaj and Cardi B are back at it. And I'm not talking like some little minor beef where they're just arguing a little bit. I'm talking they are saying some of the most god-awful things about each other and about each other's children. It started after Cardi dropped her album, I Am the Drama. And after that, Nicki started sending out a bunch of really crazy tweets. And I'm trying to see if it'll pull up so that we can talk about some of the tweets. I'm not going to go through all of them because it's so many. It is, what am I doing? I'm just going to go to my Twitter page. I'm not even going to, let's just go to Twitter. Let's go to Twitter.
Oh, God.
It is, excuse me. Nicki Minaj actually went so far as to saying that Cardi's daughter Culture, calling her ugly and that she looks like a roach. Using the word cum next to Culture's name, C-U-M. And then Cardi B came back and said that her son Papa Bear looks slow. It's bad. There's no other way to describe it. And what I'm trying to figure out is but Nicki, why did you do it? Why are you doing this now? Why are you so upset that Cardi is being successful with her album that you decided to come out with all these nasty tweets?
So I don't follow, and I watched Cardi B go on her promotional tour, Old School. She's out in the streets of New York. She's selling records, selling her CDs on the streets of New York and whatever. Cardi B is like, as much as I feel like I shouldn't like Cardi B, her personality is kind of, it's kind of infectious. So it's kind of funny to watch, And then Nicki kind of had that. I think maybe that's why Nicki can't stand her, because she really kind of slid into that same space that Nicki had before Cardi B hit the scene.
Absolutely. She absolutely did.
Yeah, that must be what it is. They're not my generation, so I let them rock and do what they're gonna do. But when I look at this situation, and now Cardi B, I guess she's pregnant by a football player. I think it's Stephon Diggs.
Which is so going backwards. Why would you do this? Why are you getting knocked up by an NFL player? This is backwards to. Once you get the album, all the money, you don't go backwards.
Here comes the gold digger rules. Go ahead.
Yes, these are the gold digger rules, but you don't need gold digger rules when you're a multi-millionaire. Like, Why would you do this? This is backward thinking. You do this if
Maybe
you have
she
nothing
likes
else
the
on for
guy.
yourself. To get knocked up and you still not even officially divorced? There's not that much like in the world to do that.
I'm a spectator. I'm a spectator with this generation now. It's wild to me. I'm looking at a lot of what's going on. So then you said something I didn't know because I don't follow that closely. That Nicki Minaj has a history of publicly being a cokehead, or what's going on there?
Yeah, she's had they actually posted pictures of Cardi's daughter showing her teeth because she's a little girl. So of course she has still baby teeth. So they're posting pictures of her teeth in her face. That's how bad this has gotten. They're making fun of a 5-year-old. This little girl's 5.
Whose child
and they're
is
making
that?
fun of her. That's culture. That's Cardi's daughter.
And so, okay.
Anyway, what was your question? I'm sorry. This made me sad. Let's go past it.
I just so cocaine and Nicki Minaj. So some of you believe that this is because she's back on coke.
Yeah, so Nicki Minaj actually had an incident 3 years ago where she was unboxing these different Chanel box gifts from somebody, and she was so high that she couldn't hold her own body up, and her words were slowing, and she couldn't function. And a lot of people are saying that every 3 months she goes on some kind of weird binge, whether it's pills or drugs or alcohol, and she has these obnoxious rants all over social media. The last one she did was talking about Jay-Z and how evil Rock Nation is. And do you remember that one from a couple months ago?
Kind of vaguely, yeah.
So she does that. Now she's doing this. It's just like Cardi. I'm not Cardi, but Nicki. You are one of the best-selling rappers of all time. You're a beautiful woman. You can easily get endorsement deals. Why are we doing this on social media?
I don't understand. Because she should be past this. She's in a position, like I said, she's been in movies. She's been co-starring in movies with A-list white women, like
Cameron Diaz.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You don't have to. You should be past this. And so, but you know, the rules are not what they used to be, right? You know, you got Bad Bunny getting ready to do the Super Bowl, and folks were wilding out about that, and you know, it's just so much craziness. All right, so other what's the story with Ray J and Kim K and lawsuit? What's that story? Talk to me.
So Ray J went on Mafiathon, which is Kai Cenat's, like, I guess he's streaming for 24 hours or something weird. But he went on Mafiathon and he's talking to Krishan Rock. All of this sounds way above your head that you don't care about. But he's sitting there with Krishan Rock and he starts talking about that there will be a RICO for Kim Kardashian and Kris and that they're not even ready for it, that he's about to do all this talking because the RICO is going to be worse than Diddy's. He said this on the live streaming platform. So Kim and Kris got a hold of this, and normally Kim and Kris don't say anything. Worst they do is send a cease and desist. Not this time. They are actually filing a defamation lawsuit against him for what he said on that live stream. Because the live stream with Kai Cenat's not some small stream. We're talking millions of people.
LeBron James is up there cutting his hair. Like, you know, he's got, I don't watch him. I just see
Kirk Franklin was on there the other day.
Kirk Franklin, LeBron James, Kevin Hart. He's had some, and I don't know if it was real or not, but Kevin Hart supposedly got in a beef with one of his people about his daughter or something. I saw that. It's all wrestling to me now. Who knows if it's real, what's fake? But but you know, that's that Kim K and Ray J. That's 25 years in the making, right? It's been at least that long, probably, that tape came out. A shout out to my man John Murray, Norfolk State, Behold the Green and Gold, who posted that he wrote the story back many years ago on Black Voices. I think was the AOL platform. And all you know came up because AOL is now no longer, it's shut down as of today. But you know, this economy of staying in front of folks with this nonsense is wild to me. Last thing before we get off the what did you follow the Charlemagne the God and Dame Dash saga from about a week or two ago?
Yes.
And so, you know what's so funny, and I didn't reach out to him because you know he's busy. But when he came out, when Dame Dash came out, said he was the CEO of. First thing that jumped out at me, he's a CEO for 30 days. I know DeTavio Samuels, who's the CEO of Revolt. I've interviewed DeTavio.
Like, you know him. I was going to say, you actually know DeTavio.
Right, and I've interviewed DeTavio, and I know DeTavio don't play no mess like that. Now, mind you, the Revolt is leveraging this community, no question. You know, they've got drink champs and they've got so much going on. But I said, for you to sit up and say you're going to be CEO or chairman of the board for 30 days, I said, what kind of bull crap is this? And then, you know, I watched the bits and pieces of it about him calling Charlamagne gay and how you're not a man and you're not this and not that. And Charlamagne is like to the point that he sits back and says, "This is great content. Keep going, old man.
Yeah.
Keep going, old man." And you know, it's so great. Dame Dash is only a year older than me.
He is a psycho. There's no other way to describe it. The fact that you can blatantly lie on something that can be easily fact checked. That was my whole thing. Like, no one believed it, but it's so easily fact checked.
Yeah.
The quote that they used, Tavia was like, "I never said that." That is from a separate conversation that is taken completely out of context that they use as a quote.
The Tavio Samuels, for people who do not know, he is the CEO of Revolt. He is one of the smartest men, smartest professionals in that space. Do your research. You know, you can start with the interview I did with him a couple of years ago, but he's done tons more. He's everywhere. Believe me, he ain't playing that mess with no doggone Dame Dash. Yeah, I mean, this is a Stanford undergrad, Duke Business School, has worked with some of the biggest agencies. You know, where I met him in my days when I had my contract with Walmart years and years ago. He's an amazing dude, and he's think about it. He rode the wave through the whole Diddy controversy and was unscathed, and now is in a position with Revolt. He rode that whole wave during that Diddy transition from Revolt. And you think Dame Dash, you gonna come pop your dentures in and gonna go ahead and make a scene? No, the Tavio said we gonna nip this in the bud real quick. Shout out to my man, the Tavio Samuels. There was one other thing I thought I wanted to talk about before we get off this. What? Did you see the story about Tyrese and his cane corso dog situation?
Is that what? Another dog died. That was a sad story.
Well, the what part of it is that, dude, you don't have control. Or why are your cane corsos running free? 150-pound dogs running free in your neighborhood, and they're basically like, his dogs terrorize our community. Like his dogs are always running free. I can't imagine looking out my door and seeing a 150-pound cane corso running free in my neighborhood.
He's been cited for it before.
Right.
Like
Correct.
Several times. And they're like, well, how do you know it's his dog? Well, if he's been cited for it several times, that's how they know. And like Miguel said, cane corsos aren't small dogs. They're really
not at all.
They're really big dogs, and if you don't train them properly, they can be very scary and very dangerous. Yeah,
it's wild. All right, so that's our what for the week. All right, what are you watching?
Freaking baseball. Why are we watching baseball? Why? Because he's gambling or something. I don't know. But yeah, baseball is what he's watching, whatever. Yeah. All the shows are back. I'm so excited that we're back in fall scheduling. That makes me and Miguel happy. Yeah. So Brilliant Minds is my show. Love that show. All the Chicago stuff comes back tonight. Very excited about that.
I'll be watching as soon as I leave this office. Friday. Yeah.
But if you and Tracy are looking for some true crime, Black true crime to watch while you guys are relaxing or whatever, check out Beauty and the Bester on Netflix. Why are you playing that? You guys like true crime stuff.
We do not watch true crime stuff. You watch true crime stuff.
I feel like I've recommended some things to you guys and you guys have watched it. Or do you guys just patronize me and don't actually watch it?
When have we ever said that we watching true crime stuff? That is your thing, to watching them old shows be from 25 years ago, some crime, and their glasses be real thick and all the video looks grainy.
This true crime you guys want to watch is called Beauty and the Bester. It is a good Black story. It is about a very wealthy, successful female doctor in Zimbabwe and Nigeria, like she travels back and forth, who is a celebrity doctor. She's doing amazing. And she falls in love with a convicted rapist who's actually in jail and breaks him out of prison. Okay. Tell me that's not compelling.
Possibly.
Black love.
No, Black love, black murder. Okay, all right. So you're right. Chicago's coming back, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm watching, and this will be my last, old man, get off my lawn. But the bottom line is Paramount is getting rid of everything Black. So this is the last season of Shy. That's about to be gone. But think about it. What's her name? Queen Latifah's show gone. Damon Wayans show gone. They've shut down the BET Awards. They've shut down the Soul Train Awards. The Neighborhood with Cedric the Entertainer gone. The Chi is also Paramount. Last season, gone.
SWAT gone.
SWAT, everything that's got black faces or black leads, gone. And so that's Paramount. That so that's the other thing about the business. That's ill. I'm watching WNBA basketball. It's the WNBA finals is coming up. I am so happy. That the Indiana Fever lost, because all of those annoying Indiana Fever fans can now go find something else to do, because they're not basketball fans. They're simply Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever fans, and they lost last night. Peace and a bye-bye. Now we can watch some real basketball for at least another couple of weeks. So we're watching that. And of course, we watch a little football too. So, it is what it is. All right, y'all. Anything else in your mind before we get up out of here?
Nope, I'm going to bed.
All right. Peace and bye-bye.